Good morning, students. Now today we are start our second lecture of chapter number 8, that is magnetism and property of magnetic substance. Okay, yesterday we have discussed about the properties of a bar magnet and the types of a magnet. Clear? Now today we are just start with our next topic, that is some definitions related to magnet. Okay, so today we are going to discuss about some important definitions related to magnet. So for it, the series of this, first is your magnetic poles, and magnetic axis. Magnetic poles and magnetic axis. Okay, so what are the magnetic pole and magnetic axis? At the point very near to the end of a bar magnet, magnetism field is strongest. That we are going to discuss how many times that the magnetic field is very much strongest at the ends of a magnet, and that ends are termed as your poles, where the north pole and south pole situated. Clear? And the point, these points are termed as your poles, and all the field lines pass through these points. Okay, so there is an axis, means where the imaginary lines passing through these poles. Okay, that imaginary lines is termed as your axis. Clear? So in this definition, at the point very near to the end of a bar magnet, magnetism means but a field, okay, is strongest, and these points are called poles, and all the field lines pass through these points. Which point, beta? From the poles. Clear? The second one is about the magnetic axis. The imaginary lines passing through the poles and extending up to infinity is called axis of a bar magnet. Always all the properties and definition which we are consider is for the bar magnet only, beta. Okay, because for this it was a standard magnet. Clear? And this bar magnet is only be utilized for the various experiments also. Okay, so the magnetic axis is your, what we can say, imaginary lines passing through the poles. Okay, and the magnetic poles are the ends of a bar magnet, near to the ends of the bar magnet, where the magnetic field is strongest. Clear? Now in the series of same, when we are make the diagram for its better understanding about the magnetic poles and magnetic axis, the diagram is like this. This is your a bar magnet, Okay, and here is your North Pole and here is your South Pole. Clear? So 2 points I have made here, and these are your poles. It having a length, effective length called L, and this is the imaginary lines passing through these points. This AB is your imaginary line, which is termed as your what? Magnetic axis. Clear? Okay. Now discuss about the second definition, and that is the effective length of a bar magnet. Of a bar magnet. Okay. Now the distance between the two poles is the effective length of bar magnet. Okay, that I just told you the length L is which is shown in the diagram which I have drawn right now for the bar magnet. That length L is the effective length. Okay, and that was the line passing through with these poles is your axis. Clear? So the distance between the two poles is called effective length. Is called effective length of a bar magnet. And always we remember the effective length is not be your complete length of a magnet. No. It will just be near to the end. The poles are near to the end, not be at the end. Remember this thing. Okay. So when it was near to the end, it means the length will be approximate. The effective length is very small in very less small in compared to the actual length of the magnet. And what was that? It is approximately 5/6 of the physical length. Physical length indicates here the actual length. Okay, 5/6 of the physical length. Okay, and since the poles are situated slightly inside, not exactly at ends. Clear? And it is a vector quantity denoted by L vector, and its direction is from South Pole to North Pole. Okay, its direction is from South Pole to North Pole. So it's having the direction, so it's your what we can say, vector quantity. Clear? Moving toward our third definition, and your third definition is magnetic meridian. Now, what was the magnetic meridian? It was also be the imaginary vertical plane. Okay, it was the imaginary vertical plane passing through the axis of the bar magnet. Clear? And when it is freely suspended and is in equilibrium, is called the magnetic meridian. It was just be a imaginary vertical plane which has been passing through the axis of the bar magnet. Axis means the imaginary lines passing through the two poles. And when it was suspended freely and it was in equilibrium, then that time it was called the magnetic meridian. Clear? So its definition is the imaginary vertical plane passing through the axis of a bar magnet when it is freely suspended and is in equilibrium, called magnetic meridian. Okay, it was the imaginary vertical plane passing through the axis of a bar magnet. Okay, and when it was freely suspended, then and it is in equilibrium, called its magnetic meridian. Okay, any other plane which is parallel to its base, okay, and will also be called the magnetic meridian. Simple as that. Moving toward the next definition, that is the pole strength. Fourth one is your pole strength. Pole strength. The attraction power. The attraction power of a magnet is expressed by a physical quantity called pole strength. Pole strength. Okay, and it was just be symbolized by small m. Okay, its unit is ampere meter. Unit is ampere meter. Okay, it was the attraction power of a bar magnet is expressed by the physical quantity. Okay, how much attraction power present at the poles, okay, that in the magnet at the near to the end. Okay, that attraction power of a magnet that can be expressed by a physical quantity, a physical term, and that was your pole strength denoted by m, and its unit is ampere meter. Clear? Moving forward with our next definition, that was the fifth definition, that is Coulomb's. It was just we can say like a relation also. Coulomb's law for the force between magnetic poles. Okay, we are just going to discuss about the Coulomb's law for the force between the magnetic poles. Now just imagine like the gravitational force between the two masses and the electrostatic force between the two electric charges, and both follows the inverse square law. Okay, clear? You know it very well. What was the formula of gravitation, beta? So in this the Coulomb's force is inversely proportional to the square of the distance between the magnetic poles. Okay, and it was directly proportional to the product of the pole strength. You know it very well, beta. In the Coulomb's law, okay, we are just be apply here the Coulomb's law. So the Coulomb force is inversely proportional to the square of the distance between the magnetic poles and directly proportional to the product of pole strength. Now you know it very well, the pole strength has been denoted by this small m. Okay, so for that we can write this like in the form of equation, that directly proportional to the product of the pole strength. Here m1 and m2 are the pole strength, okay, and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them, okay, between the poles. Now when we remove the sign of proportionality, then F is equals to K small k m1 m2 upon r square. Similarly, as we are applying the Coulomb's law for what we can say for the charged particles, okay. Now here what was K? K was the same thing, mu naught upon 4 pi. Okay, so F is equals to mu naught upon 4 pi m1 m2 upon r square. Okay, equation number 1. So what was K here? So here K is mu naught upon 4 pi, which is 10 to the power 7, okay, minus 7 Weber per ampere is a constant, and you know it very well, mu naught is what is the mu naught, beta? Magnetic permeability of air vacuum. Okay, so for that, if we are just going to discuss about the K, so K is your mu naught upon 4 pi, and you know it very well that the mu naught upon 4 pi, mu naught means 4 pi into 10 to the power minus 7 upon 4 pi, then that's why it will become your 10 to the power minus 7. Clear? Now if we are just be discuss about the unit pole, okay, the definition of unit pole. So if m1 is equals to m2, means the pole strength of the magnetic poles is equal, that is of your 1 ampere meter is its unit, okay, and distance will be your 1 meter, then at this time F will be equal to mu naught upon 4 pi, that is 10 to the power minus 7 Newton. Okay, clear? This is your what? Definition of a unit pole. Okay, and in this series the definition, this was the mathematical term, and when we are going to discuss about the definition of it, it is if two equal poles separated by 1 meter in air or vacuum experience a force of 10 to the power minus 7 Newton, then both poles have unit pole strength. Then it's have a unit pole strength. Clear? Okay. Now moving, these all are the important definitions. Now we are going to discuss about what is the magnetic field lines. Okay, the electric field lines also we have discussed, means starting from the positive charge ending at the negative charge. It was the same like that. Okay, so the magnetic field lines, or we can say magnetic lines of force also, the same thing. Okay, magnetic lines of forces. Now what was the magnetic field lines or magnetic lines of forces? Now if a small magnetic compass needle is moved in a magnetic field and the path of one pole is traced by using the dots, and afterwards when we are joining these dots it gives a curve, and this was your magnetic field lines. Okay, clear? And even if you just be show this experiment of the magnetic field lines of a bar magnet, we have to place a paper or a glass sheet on a bar magnet. Sprinkle some iron filling. That also we have done this experiment or this activity in your 10th standard. Okay. Afterwards, when we are sprinkle some of the iron fillings on the glass sheet or in the paper, the pattern of the iron filling will give you an idea of the field lines. Okay, and it will be like this. I'm just drawing it out. Suppose a bar magnet has been placed at a paper or over a glass sheet, and you have just be sprinkle some of the iron fillings over the glass paper. Okay, and afterwards when you have sprinkled this thing, then it will just show or attracted like in the form of a curve, and that curve is your magnetic field lines. That will be like that, like this. Means they are just showing by the curve nature. Okay, and where it was started from, it will be going from north to south. Okay, south is the ending and north is your starting portion. Clear? Okay, it was like this. Now what it will just be an imaginary lines which shows the magnetic effect. Clear? Now in this we are going to discuss about the properties of magnetic field lines, as also we have discussed the properties of electric field lines. So properties of field lines. Now most of the properties are similar to the electric field lines. So your first property is they are imaginary and are in the form of closed loops. This is the same properties of the electric field lines. Electric field lines also your that imaginary lines. It was also be formed in the loop in a curvical form. Okay, but okay, when it was moving from positive to negative. Clear? Second property is outside the magnet, their direction is from north to south, while inside they are from south to north. Okay, clear? Simple as that. When it was moving from outside of the magnet, it was moving from north pole to south pole. Okay, north pole to south pole. But when we are entering and inside the magnet, it was just be traveling south to north pole. That's why it was making the closed loop. This thing is not be happening in your electric field. Okay, clear? Moving further with our third property, and your third property is third one property, that the tangent drawn at any point on the field lines give the direction of magnetic field at that point. Okay, and it was the common thing that whenever we draw the tangent on the field, any of the line, it was definitely shows the direction of the particular thing. Okay, and here when we are drawn a tangent on the magnetic field lines, then it was just gives the direction of the magnetic field at that point. Okay, the fourth property, they never intersect each other. This is the common property, they never intersect each other. The magnetic field lines never intersect each other. Even this was the important property. Okay, and why it has been so? Because if they do two tangents can be drawn on the point of intersection, which gives two directions of the field, and you know it very well, which is not possible that any of at a single point, at a one point, two directions are not be possible of any of the thing. Clear? So they are never, the magnetic field lines never intersect each other, because if they do so, the two tangents can be drawn on the single point of intersection, and which gives the two directions of the field, and which is not even possible at all. Clear? The same reason is there for the electric field lines also, and sometime it was the important property that it has been asked in your board exam for the 1 mark question, why the field lines never intersect each other. Okay, it will become a question also. A single property will be like a question. Clear? Moving towards the next property, the area where field lines are close, the field is strong, and vice versa. The field is strong near the poles. It always happen, and you know it very well. Okay, the area where the field lines are close, that will be the field is very much strong over there. Okay, and even we can just be positive of this, where the field lines are very much the field lines are always be strong, where the field is always be strong where the field lines are close to each other. Okay, and where the field lines are close to each other, there the field will be strong. It was the vice versa of each other. Okay, and you know it very well, the most of the crowded area, the crowded portion in a bar magnet of the field lines is at the poles only. Okay, that's why the poles are stronger as compared to the surface of the magnet. Clear? Moving toward our sixth point, the parallel field lines represent uniform magnetic field. Okay, as it was be shown in that, what we can say in solenoid also. Okay, in solenoid it was just be shown that the magnetic field lines are parallel inside the solenoid. Okay, that's why it was uniform, because they are parallel. Okay, the lines are parallel. That's why it was very much it was uniform. Okay, throughout that solenoid. Clear? So these are all the six properties of the magnetic field lines. Moving toward our next topic, that is your neutral point. Neutral point. Now what was this neutral point means? Okay, what was its meaning? So neutral means no positive, no negative. It was completely neutral. Okay, that neutral are there. That atom is a neutral. The amount of positive charge are equal to the negative charges. Okay. Similarly, in this also, the Earth has its own magnetic field. That you know it very well. Okay, and so when we place a bar magnet on a paper placed on the wooden table, there will be a superposition of the field lines. Because of what? Earth, that is of your earth and bar magnet. Both are creating their field lines. Okay. And the pattern of the field lines drawn show some 1 or 2 points where the net magnetic field is 0. Okay. Are you getting the point? I am again explaining you out. It was the theoretical portion, but it was just asked in the definition point of, it was important for the definition point of view, that we know it very well, the Earth has its own magnetic field. Okay, and so when we place a bar magnet on a paper placed on a wooden table, then there will be a superposition of two fields. And what was the two fields? One field created by the Earth and another one is created by the bar magnet. Okay. Now the pattern of the field lines drawn show some 1 and 2 points where the net magnetic field is 0. And these points are called your null points. Okay, and at these points the horizontal component of earth magnetic field exactly cancels the magnetic field of the bar magnet. Getting my point? Okay, which point? At the null point, the horizontal component of the earth magnetic field, this one is your horizontal component, this one is the vertical. Okay, this one is the vertical and this one is the, means this one is the vertical and this one is the horizontal. Okay, so the horizontal component of the earth magnetic field exactly cancels the magnetic field of a bar magnet. Both are cancelled each out. Okay, so means the magnetic field produced by the bar magnet was the B, and magnetic field produced by the horizontal component of your, what we can say, the earth, it was your BH. So B minus BH is always be 0, and the location of null point depends on the orientation of the bar magnet, how it was placed. Okay, it was depend upon the bar magnet, how it was placed, and how the earth will creating its own magnetic field, which are going to be cancel it out. Okay, getting my point? Now here we are having a different terms for this. First of all, I am writing this thing. Okay, for or you can write by your own about this, that the earth has its own magnetic field. Okay, now it has the two different things. Just suppose first, when the south pole of a bar magnet is in geographical north direction, means what I am saying to you beta, that suppose this is the, this one, sorry, now suppose this one is your bar magnet and this cap portion is your south, okay, and this one is your north. So first condition I am taking it out, that the south pole, this one, the south pole of a bar magnet, it was in a geographical north direction. Suppose the geographical north direction is like this. So I am just putting the south portion in the geographical north direction. Okay, now in this position, the field on equator lines, means the perpendicular lines of axis, like this, because it was just creating south to north, south to north, south to north, and it was placed at the geographical north point. Now somehow this component has been cancelled it out, the perpendicular lines. Okay, it was strong near the magnet, it was strong near the magnet. Okay, because both field lines are in the same direction, we get a null point of the 0 point on the axis. Why on the axis we are getting? Here at this point and at the downside of this point, 2 points we are getting the null point, because that in this point it will just be having the perpendicular field lines. Okay, it will also be like this, it will also be created, some of the lines are coming from this, and it was placed near the north pole. So north pole is also having the perpendicular lines, both intersect, it was cancel it out each other. So it was having the points here. Clear? Or sometime it was be at this point also, but most probably it was coming at this point. Clear? Okay, so I am just writing it out, and afterwards I am making the diagram only. The remaining theoretical portion you may write by your own. Clear? So first of all I am writing the theory of the neutral point. The earth has its own magnetic field. So when we place a bar magnet on a paper placed on wooden table, there will be superposition, okay, of two fields, okay. The pattern of filled lines drawn show some one or two, okay, one or two points where the net magnetic field is 0, and these points are called null points. Clear? Okay, and even at this only, the horizontal component and the magnetic field was with the 0 value. Okay. Now the next thing was that of your, when the south pole of a bar magnet is in the geographical north direction, this you have to be draw the diagram by your own. Okay, I just explained you out. You have just tried to draw the diagram of this. Okay, that when the south pole of a bar magnet is in geographical north direction. Okay, this try to make the diagram. Okay, and its theory portion also I have just explained you out. The remaining condition we will do tomorrow. Clear? Thank you. That's all for today.